Peace. What up? What's up? Welcome to Yoga, Magical Art of Yoga, shifting perception-based reality on and off the mat, where we are connecting ancient wisdom with recent scientific research. Family calls me Gadu. So happy to be here today, and today, set it off with a little Crowley quote: "Invoke often and invoke with passion." So before we talked a little bit about chanting, some of the science in there. We talked about and realizing or remembering the theme of remembering in the myth. Just like remembering the different parts of us are, we could also see this process of remembering as the process of putting together our memories so we can move with wisdom. The preceptors, shout outs to the preceptor Siba Ma and Siba Ja, say or have said that reflection is the essence of life. So the more that we can remember, the more that we can reflect upon. And we mentioned that we naturally, every once in a while, when we're forgetting what we're attempting to say, or we're attempting to remember what we're finna say, partway through a sentence, we might pause for a little to focus that in. So a little bit more on the science of chanting and what that Crowley quote means when he says, "Invoke often and invoke with passion." We could actually take this as a theme that is reflected in Psalm 23. A lot of folks talk about the ancient Egyptian origins of some of these verses, and Psalm 23, go ahead and let us know if you're interested in seeing how this could be seen as a hymn to Asar, the spine, and to Ra, or the brain. So when we're talking about the second part where it goes into the brain, it also talks about the idea of the cup overfloweth. Head is anointed with oil and the cup overfloweth. Right? Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days, and I shall dwell in the what? And the body is also known as a who. So what we're seeing here is the idea that when we have an emotion, we can actually see a biochemical or a physiological response or equivalent to that emotion. In The Gods Are Real, we talk about seeing the Neteru as, and these cosmic principles as being our, drum roll please, hormones, steroids, and neurotransmitters. Yay! So thus we can take a look at our neurotransmitters and see that various emotions have their corresponding biochemical correspondence hormones or steroids. For instance, when we talk about the sense of pleasure, then often we're speaking about dopamine. When we talk about a sense of fulfillment, the one associated with the flow state, when you can keep doing that thing that you were meant to do and the line between you and the thing you're doing blurs, where you don't gotta eat, gotta sleep, barely drink water. Somebody's gotta remind you. You're shaking your leg because instead of going to the bathroom, somebody's gonna remind you to drink water. And becoming that thing, we could see that that is associated with serotonin. Another verse that might be related to that is, "Man does not live on bread alone, yet on the word." In our case, this word or this affirmation or this hekau, these words of power, this mantra, could be associated with our true life's purpose, our highest aspiration, the function for which we are here. And that flow state can literally become our default state based on us consistently feeling it. Thus, invoke often. We could see also the crook and the flail, the symbols of guidance and discipline, the guidance where we are continually bringing our mind to that thought, emotion, or idea that we are quite sure is in alignment, and the discipline of just doing that often. So when we consistently feel an emotion, when we invoke some emotional response, or we find a word that can invoke an emotion that we're looking for, the more often that we feel it, the more our body literally gets filled with that neurotransmitter or those hormones. Now, where this gets interesting, as far as dwelling in the house forever and the default state, the idea that it becomes the state that we wake up in and go to bed in, is the idea that when our neurotransmitters or hormones flood into the bloodstream, then we have cells that have receptors for these. And the cells that are get their corresponding hormone or neurotransmitter are more likely to reproduce. Thus, that can literally become who we are on a physical level. Alright, so invoke often, invoke with passion. We can bring our awareness to the heart, recall our intention as we inhale, and harmonize this with a big Om. We give thanks. The tap. Make the day great. You look amazing, smell fantastic. Look forward to seeing you soon. Peace.